peevish. A shape peeking from behind his left shoulder suggests a motorcycle's handlebars and reflector, an assumed nod to the road trip connotations of the album's title. In reality, it's just the handle of a baby stroller belonging to the couple upstairs. "We spent a day wandering around New York taking pictures," recalled Kramer, who had also staged the complex interior of Bringing It All Back Home. "We tried out various locations and stopped at a clothes store and bought outfits for Bob, though the ones he wears on the cover are his own. I put Neworth behind him in the picture to give it extra color." The image has since become one of the defining portraits of Dylan from this period. But the story behind it is also a cautionary tale, for the photo that now seems so inevitable was only one of several possibilities, and the relation we see between cover and music exists largely in our own minds. Like the feverishly pugnacious interviewer at Dylan's San Francisco press conference later that year, we are unable simply to let it be. Something inside us insists on knowing what the picture means. In fact, the definitive portrait was almost accidental. "After shooting in 3 or 4 locations around the city," said Kramer, "we eventually went back to the apartment. Then I decided that the light was still decent outside, and we did a few more out on the steps. When we went over the pictures that I had narrowed down, Bob focused in on this, and he thought it should be his album cover, although there were 1 or 2 others that might have made just as good a cover. And people would have said, 'That's an iconic photograph. Isn't it fortunate that that's the one you chose?'" Kramer points to the example of the Russian director Sergei Eisenstein, who famously juxtaposed facial close-ups with a variety of contrasting scenes, charging soldiers, a baby carriage tumbling down the steps, and then the audience, when they see the face after that scene, says, "This is the perfect expression for that. This is what the person is feeling, horror, joy, surprise." You read into it. As it happens, the Highway 61 photo was created not in response to the music, but several months before it existed. The picture was made before the album was recorded, but I also had some feeling about what Bob was trying to accomplish and what he was looking for. Just as now, 40 years later, we believe we see in the face glaring out at us the kind of music we're looking for. Music that makes no concessions to current taste and listens to no counsel but its own. Music that, largely because of this, sounds as timeless as the ancient ballads that irrigate its roots. Music that still has the rare quality, after all this time, of making us hear what we want to hear. Released on August 30th, 1965, reaching number 3 on the Billboard charts in November, and earning Dylan his 2nd consecutive gold record, Highway 61 Revisited stands at the apex of a monumental trilogy of albums recorded in barely more than a year, beginning with the exploratory yawp of Bringing It All Back Home, and ending with the spellbinding excess of Blonde on Blonde. Or, again, it provides the connector between Bringing's impudent "What else can you show me?" and Blonde's jaded "Waiting to find out what price you have to pay to get out of going through all these things twice." It is a work of unique directedness, even pragmatism, diamond hard, muscular, powerful as a V8, at times joyously spontaneous, yet always controlled. Dylan famously described his music of this time as mathematical, and no other album of his gives such a sense of precision, while at the same time racing forward with such reckless abandon. It contains at least one anointed classic in Like a Rolling Stone, crowned the greatest rock song of all time in 2004 by the periodical of record that shares its name, and a number of others, Ballad of a Thin Man, Just Like Tom Thumb's Blues, the epic Desolation Row, that sit at the pinnacle of Dylan's songwriting career. It is also one of the few albums to withstand Dylan's own pitiless self-scrutiny. While his liner notes jokingly term the songs "exercises in tonal breath control," he uncharacteristically told an interviewer later that year,
To keep listening to this audiobook for free, click the link in the description. It will take you to a free Audible trial where you can listen to this and many other books for free for 30 days.